I think the power of satire is really overrated, and I think the media always writing these. I'm so tired of that. The lead in all these stories was like, who would have thought that the best way to get the news these days are like the one show that really tells the truth is this crazy show, The Daily Show. Such a topsy-turvy world. That makes me so fucking depressed. I mean, that's not a good state of affairs. People always say, oh, your comic is so cynical, or like, when somebody meets me, they're like, oh, I thought you'd be so cynical. It's like, I'm not, I don't want people, my satire is like very dark or whatever. It's edgy, right? And, but I'm not cynical. I mean, the reason I make it is because I'm so not cynical. I'm embarrassingly, like, idealistic and stuff.
Well, you know, the other thing, I mean, I think we've talked about this before, probably at other panels, but another lead that's in a lot of these stories, and it's totally fallacious and untrue, and it's never checked. This is actually why people are tuning out of the mainstream media, because the mainstream media prints facts and statistics which no one has bothered to check. They always say, a Pew Research study has shown that more college students get their news from The Daily Show than from the mainstream media. Now, The Daily Show has an audience of 1.7 or so million people on a good day. That's like their biggest thing. And not everybody watching The Daily Show is a college student. There are people, so if you just do the math, several 100,000 college students are getting news from The Daily Show, in addition probably to other sources as well. I think the reason why the media is sort of chasing The Daily Show and trying to, ape it, or try to, everybody's like, every anchor now is telling jokes.
It's demographic envy.
But 21 million people, believe it or not, still watch the evening news. I mean, and if you ever watch the evening news, it's a great introduction to all the products you will need when you're 98 years old. Because you learn about things like restless leg syndrome, which is, your leg wants to be with other legs or something. I don't know. But
that's wandering leg syndrome.
That's wandering leg syndrome. I gotta roam, but you were always on my mind.
Maybe it has more of an effect. I mean, when you do these panels or whatever discussions, and then you come away thinking like, oh yeah, it's kind of like what I do. It's like fulfilling this important role. But I think it's true. Like the satire is more important the more like literally dangerous it is. Like in the Soviet Union. Did anyone read that article in the New York Times a few months ago about these political humorists in Burma called the Mustache Brothers? And there were these guys who do political satire, and they're known as the Mustache Brothers, and they get imprisoned for like 5-10 years at a time. The junta puts them in a cell somewhere. Their family's like, yeah, they're doing their bid. They'll be back out. They come back out. They fucking pick it up right where they left off. Screw, and then they go away again. I mean, so maybe in a more repressive society, maybe satire is more important because then you're literally showing people that you can speak out against a repressive regime, and hopefully, live to talk about it.
Well, it's funny, when we were originally putting together this panel, the thought was that we would do it in Burma. And life's too short. Life's too short. I think I'm glad that we did it here. It's going so much better, because we would all be in jail by now.